Okay, so I was talking about the open close key levels and how to get our storyline with the open close key level and our resistance support. As a matter of fact, together with all the key levels, you already know QML, you already know inverse, you already know resistance because support, you already know support because resistance. Now I am adding open close. Now I took a trade on NAS 100. I'm going to show you guys everything I mean, like for this week that just rounded up. Now look at this diagram very well. This one here is sell, this one is buy, and the same way we do our inverse, that if it gets invalidated, like if our resistance becomes support gets invalidated, it turns to QM arrow. It's also applicable to the open close. It's also applicable to the open close. All right, that if it gets broken like this, and this open close, the way it gets invalidated is this: we expect price to close on this particular place here, like this place here, with the wick. So the moment price closes with the body on it, it has been invalidated. And if price comes back here and it closes with the wick in this place here that got invalidated before, it could be seen as an inverse. You guys know what inverse is now. You know, if it's QM arrow now, we have been using like the head and shoulder, we'll use like this, the same way. Now, building our bias, we can start from the monthly, we can start from the weekly, and we can start from the daily. And then we can like refine till we get to like the hourly time frame. Now the first thing we have to look out for is a rejection. I'm talking about like building our bias from the higher time frame. You know what the topic is: higher time frame directional bias. Now we have to look out for a rejection at either of these key levels in the higher time frame, which means that you have to wait till that candle closes. Like as today is now, today is Sunday, let me use Friday. That Friday trade I took, right, it was that Thursday close, daily close, I used to get that Friday trade. All right, now look at it here. This right here is an open close, two candles of the same direction, right? And then I told you guys that once price breaks it with the body like this, it is no longer valid anymore. Look at this, of the same direction. This was the week. This was, let me zoom in. This is an open close right here. And price broke through it with what? The body. Now I told you guys that what we are looking out for is what? A rejection. And a rejection can only occur with the wick of the candle. Please pay attention. What's going on now? What's going on in the group? So we did not get a rejection here. If we had gotten a rejection here, what date was this? Wednesday. Let's say price rejected here. Then on Thursday, we would have been buying this NAS 100 if other of our criteria price like meet the criteria. You know, I posted one time that gold rejected on the daily time frame with the week for a sale, and the Monday the sale was crazy. Do you understand? Now what did he do? He closed with the body and he invalidated his open close. So what did I say you can do? You can use the inverse of it. So the inverse is this next candle that came here, and then what did he do? He closed with the wick on it. That is number one. Number one criteria has been met. All right, number one criteria has been met, which is this one here. Close with the wick. Now it can close with the wick in different areas that you have to look out for. Also, I want you guys to be a bit okay. Let me not get there first. We'll still go there. I think the line chart, I told you guys that all these things I got them when I was back testing, and that's even why I increased my study time, because I needed to figure everything out myself first. All right, so it can close with it has to close with the wick. Like a rejection has to happen. The rejection can happen even at a resistance that became a support, an open close, QM arrow. Mind you, it has to be on this higher time frame. Okay, now if we have a rejection on this daily time frame, you have to go one time frame below to get our second criteria. Let me write it out. First criteria we have is rejection. Second criteria we have is breakout. You have to go one time frame below to look for a breakout. We have gotten our rejection here from the 4 hours in this open, from the daily in this open close. Now this thing closed here when? On Thursday. Mind you, the trade I took was on Friday. I used it to close the week. This is when? Thursday. Now let me mark it out. Let me put something here, make it red, so that trying not, I don't want it to touch the other candle. Let me just leave it like this. So now we go to the 4 hours to look for our breakout. Now what is this breakout? It's going to be the most recent, either resistance becomes support or support becomes resistance in that 4 hour time frame. That is your breakout. Now if you look very well, the most recent, after price tapped here, the most recent resistance, look at where it tapped. This is where that rejection is. This can why I put this red why I put this red stuff here, so we are not going to mistake it for these other candles, because they are not among. This is where the rejection happened. This candle is where the rejection happened. Now this right here is the last most recent. What is this? This is a support that became a resistance. there's some people we call it the A shape, like they call it A shape breakout, something like that, but I don't want to confuse you. This is your support that became resistant. The moment you get your breakout, it is now considered as your support that became a resistant. Just right here. Now it is left for you, but me, I refine mine to the lower time frame. Some people, as soon as this breakout occur here, they use the breakout as their entry, like as this thing is now. They use this breakout as their entry or whatsoever. But while I was studying, I figured out that in our normal key level, I and you, we know that until these two candles price takes them out, this zone is still valid, and it looks so how would I put it, to put your SL like this. So I figured out a way on my own to refine this guy to the lower time frame using the same method I got this guy from here, on my own. Okay, so if we have a rejection on the daily, we go one time frame below to get our breakout. And like I said, the rejection may not even be open close. Sometimes it may be resistance becomes support, support becomes resistance, QM arrow, just anything that you know that okay, on a normal day this is our kind of point of interest that we look out for, and then price rejects on it. It's a point to look out for. Now let us go to the 1 hour first. I know that most of you would have been looking out for buying this pair at some point. I don't know if there was any area where there was like a QM arrow or something. Let me try to think. It was this one where there was something like this, a QM arrow. I'm looking for one that, you know, you guys had a little issue with, if price shows sell and it shows buy, which one do we go with? And I pinned my head down to find a very good solution to that problem. So if we are following from the rejection, it gives us a clear direction, because it has you know what it means for price to reject at a point of interest. You know what it means for price to reject at a point of interest. And also, when a rejection occurs, you need to check the opening and the closing of that candle. So after this rejection here, I went down to the 4 hours, which is the next corresponding time frame, to look out for my breakout, which is this one right here. Like I said, most people can enter directly like this. That is in the case where the point of interest is small, that's fine. But like this one now, I don't see a need for that. But then another thing caught my attention. After we have gotten this here, you can also look out for a rejection and a breakout in the corresponding time frame, which means that what now, this is what our support that became now a resistance that price tapped on. But what did you observe? When price tapped on this guy, what did he do? It also gave us a rejection candle right here, which means that what we can also stick with this rejection candle, and then we look out for a breakout in the next corresponding time frame. Now this one is based on my personal study. Most of these people, they just stick, and then they just stick with this 4 hours. That's where they get their entry. If this guy right here is now our new rejection, look at this, is where it is this one here. If this guy is our new rejection on that 4 hours, where then if you still look at this thing on this 1 hour, you still figure out that it's still giving us our usual thing. Now let me show you guys. On a normal day, this is your inducement. You can see that you don't even have to go and like start drawing it. From that one, it still puts you somehow on the line with what you already know. That's why I said, if you don't even know those ones, you are not on the same page with us. Which confirms what? An internal what? Disruption. We are going to do this thing every Sunday till the end of June. So which what? Which confirms our change of trend, but it saved us an SL that would have happened here. You know, you would have gotten an SL taking this QMR right here after the disruption was taken out. You would have taken a loss trying to take this disruption for here, but it would have been avoided. Because why? As of that time, the daily has not closed its candle for you to know price direction. As you can see, just as this one is now, if this thing here now was a support, and this thing closed on the week on it, then this is a proper rejection in the daily. If this thing here was like a normal support, and this thing closed like this now, as market wants to open, then we should be expecting buys on Monday. Now it will save you a lot. And then what? After this rejection, this rejection is from 4 hours. The next breakout that we had is what? This guy right here. No, I don't think so. Let me draw this again. I think this is where it tapped on it. This should be it. Let's go back to the 4 hours. Let me put that red stuff again. Let's follow suit. This is the rejection. After this break, the rejection was this candle. When was this? On Friday, of course. So here, the first rejection was this. So we had this rejection here. Then to the 1 hour, okay, we had our break. Where is our break on the 1 hour? The most recent was this guy here. Our most recent break. So as price broke it, I was sure of this point of interest. So what did I do? I just took my QM here, and then I took my sell position, and I just put my SL right above this open close here. Remember, there's an open close here, so putting my SL just below it is like as if I'm not seeing it. So I just put my SL above it, because of course, and that was how I got this trade. As simple as this, like getting your directional bias from the lower time frame. Now aside QM, you can also get every other confluence and then follow up with resistance becomes support as continuation. Before I move to the next example I'll be giving, is there any question? Let me check on Telegram before we proceed. Let me take at least 3 questions then. Can you shed more light on what rejection is? Rejection is price just closing in a point of interest. Maybe you register because support the open close, any of it, just with the week. It closes with the week and not the body that's rejecting at that point. So that's rejection. It's not. Let me take more question. When rejection happens, it's just like saying that if it rejects down like this, it means that at this point sellers are like in control. They are defending that particular area. You know, it takes power for price to push something down like this and it closes with the wick, pushes with the body down and closes with the wick like this. Respect the daily marking. How will you form? How? What is respect the daily marking? I want us to continue. This thing you can also do it in the weekly, but me, I don't really see a need of going to the weekly and all of that. What I can just do is, if it's a new month, I might just want to see what price closed with the previous month, where it closed, where it rejected. That's just it. Let me check the other groups whether there's any question. What if the third candle went below the 2 candles but it closed with a wick? What if the third candle? What third candle? What third candle are you talking about? Don't worry, when I post the video, there will not be any lag. It should be from your network or something. I'm going to say the definition of the open close again so you can write it or just listen. The open close key level consists of 2 candles that are of the same direction. So after the open close candle has occurred and the next candle is a wick to invalidate it, and not a body, what happens next? If he uses a wick to it's not going to be invalidation, it's going to be called rejection. Invalidation is when he uses body. Invalidation is when he uses body. If he uses wick, it's called a rejection. If this candle here use this thing at like is a weak rejection here, then this thing would have not sold like this. You would have bought, because see this one here, that buy I took, that you guys saw me, that one I took was from here, this rejection. The other buy was from here, this rejection. I bought to this level. This is open close. Another thing before I forget, if for example, you know as to how long this candle is now, we have open close here, we have open close here. The candle, the place where that wick stop, the last POI there is the one that you will use. For example, as long as this thing is now, we have this one here, we have this one here. You see this point here is where we are using. That though we had this level here, but it went beyond it, and then it went towards this one. So this is the one we are using. Though they say the fresh is better than the unfresh. You know, this one now could be seen as unfresh. Why? Because of this weak interference, but this one could be seen as fresh. But on a normal day, if these two were to be fresh, then it is this one. You know, after I stopped here, there is no other candle it tapped on. We could just see this one right here as liquidity. And then this POI. Let me check if there's any other question. How do you make use? After the two similar candles, the next candle that invalidates them has to break with the wick or body. For it to be a rejection, it has to break with the wick. If it breaks with the body, it is not a rejection. It has been invalidated. Then we will now have to look out for the opposite direction or for price to form a new rejection. How do we make use of the directional bias? We just used it now. We went from the daily to the 4 hours down to even the 1 hour. We use it to know get our point of interest, your preferred point of interest. Me, I'm very, very good with trading chem arrow. If you like support become resistance become support, you already backtested the pair, it works better, then you just have to use this to get your POI, your direction. Yeah. Let's see. The rejection should before the rejection the breakout should. Can you write what you mean again? That question is from evolution. Can you write what you're trying to ask? Okay, this person is asking. Okay. I think I've understood this person question. Yes, this is very good. You can just use picture to just explain very fast. Now he is asking that in a situation where we have our open close like this, and then the candle that rejects like this, it doesn't matter as long as the next candle it tapped on is not an open close. It doesn't matter. If the next candle it taps on is an open close, then the power shifts from here to here. This is where the rejection occurred. But if it isn't, then if you like, let it just belong to Jericho. This is where the rejection is. You just mark it where it stops. You look for the last breakout in the next time frame. Now one thing you should know, as this candle is like this now, it's very obvious to you that this market structure from this point, this level here, is bullish. Like this should like tell you that this thing is bullish. This open close and everything. It's just to get your storyline for your directional bias, to get a precise and an entry that should have a good probability. I don't know if you understand me. Let me check another question. When you say in the same direction of an open close level, do you mean the same sales and same buy, like the open and close of the candle should be both sales, or the open of the candle should be both buys? How do you see this? As this is an uptrend now, you can see that these two here are buys, these two are buys, these two are buys. This one here, sell, buy. It is not an open close. Even if this thing was on top here and this one is sell candle, this one is buy, it is still not an open close. It has to be of the same direction. If this one is buy, this one should be buy as well. Or another way we can go through it is if this one here is a normal support and it just reject at the support. I told you guys, it can reject at the support. The reason why I'm explaining this open close is because this open close is our main point of concentration today. You understand me? Because you already know RBS, SBR, QM, inverse, all of them. This is the one we are focusing on. But that same rule applies here. It can still be QM that can be here that this still rejects on, and we still follow suit. It still can be support that it rejects on here. Like I said, if this thing was a support, this rejection here, we can still buy from this level. I don't know whether you understand me. Let me check the other questions. What if there was no rejection on the 4 hours? Yeah, that's a good question. You have to wait for there to be a rejection, because if there's no rejection in the 4 hours, how then do you enter to the 1 hour? It becomes a problem. If there is no rejection in the 4 hours, how then do you want to enter with 1 hour? Do you understand? Another thing you should notice that sometimes there can be a rejection in the 4 hours in the daily, and in the 4 hours there is no breakout, but like the breakout has not occurred, but the breakout is kind of far. That kind of trade is considered as really low probability. I've seen that kind of trade, I think last week. Like you have your rejection, but where the breakout is in that 4 hours is very far, and let's say price is around here, but then after that daily rejection, you now have like 4 hours rejection. You now have like 4 hours rejection somewhere here at this resistance that became a support. You have your a rejection here on the 4 hours for an instance, but the breakout is far. These kind of trades are considered low probability, and your target should be price going to this breakout. So if you mark out your break, see, let me tell you, you guys have to go and watch this video like 2 to 3 times, so don't think that only one time you understand something that me, I'm still even studying since 2 weeks till today. So now if we have this here, and then this is where our 4 hours breakout is, but we have a 4 hour rejection here, you can just navigate to the 1 hour to get your entry, but just know that it's really low probability. How do you get your entry? The same way, you have already got your rejection here. What you should look out for as your entry is to look for a breakout in your 1 hour, and then your target should be priced to take out these 4 hours. Yes, after that rejection, this question is very important. Thank you. What's your name? Michael. After that rejection, you have to wait for price to close that candle. That's why I said this rejection that happened here, you can see it's on Thursday, but it's on Friday I took the trade. Why? Because that Thursday price can still come back to close with the body here. You never can tell. And if price closes with the body here, the buyers have changed. It means that what? We are now going to buy, because automatically something is going to happen. It's just going to show that, okay, let us assume that price tap on this. If this thing had gone back to close with the body here, I would have just known that, okay, on Friday we should be buying this NAS 100, even if the trade doesn't trigger. Because why? We now later close with the week here. We're now buying. So until that candle closes in that time frame, you are not safe yet to take a trade. Somebody said this is similar to SLK. I don't know what is SLK, but this is just normal market structure, and then we're still using rejection and then our normal key levels. I don't know, but if that's the name, then fair enough. Let me check another group for question. What if it didn't close with a wick but a body? I've already said it before. Now if it closes with the body, then it is now invalidated. That's where the inverse comes in. That's why I took this sell, because this guy here broke this one with the body and not the wick. It's a signal that, let me speak it in pidgin, it be like say we go sell. That's that kind of signal. How do you mark your PO? How do you mark the POI or the rejection wick? You just use something to just put there now, so that if you go to the lower time frame, you just know where your breakout will be coming from. Because if you just draw your line like this, you might get confused. So you can just put something there, and then so that when you just go to like the lower time frame, you just look at where that markup is. Now you just see this is where the markup is, this is where the break happened, the rejection happened, and then this is where their break will happen. After this break, this is where another rejection happens. No, some people have already entered this trade from here. Some people have entered this trade from here. So we saw their own rejection, and that was how we got our own entry. Let me check. Okay, somebody is saying that area that the market closed on daily, can we analyze the open close there and see what we had for buy that occurred there? This is what I meant, also open for correction. Let me clear all of these out. Where is the one he's talking about? Is it this? Let me check. Okay, I think is referring to this one here. It should be this. That one self is too far. Let's just use this one here, this one that is the closest we can see, this one here. Maybe put this one, let's put this markup here too. Let's go to the 4 hours to look for the breakout. So where is our most recent breakout in the 4 hours? Is simply here, and the breakout occurred, and then the buy started, and then we are looking. I say you wait for price to give you a rejection. Okay, so far so good. We did not get any rejection from anywhere here from the 4 hours until this guy right here gave us a rejection in this open close in the 4 hours. So this is where the rejection occurred. Let's put it there. Mind you, this was the next day, so I had to even go to check that okay, we don't have any rejection in the opposite direction. That one too is very important. In case your trade did not trigger that day, you still have to go and check, am I still going to hold this trade? What is that daily time frame saying for that particular day? What do we need to take note of? So we have that rejection there. Then we go to the 1 hour. Let's see what we have there. Okay, and for the 1 hour we had this as our first breakout, just right here, and it broke out. And as you know me, this right here is a QM arrow right here. Now another thing I want you to note is this. You see all these long wicks you can see like this. That's why I said I will talk about these line candles. If you go to the line candle chart here, you see that this is our QM arrow just here. You see that line stuff, it did not show here. It means that that line did not concern you. Just take your long position. Your SL is just going to be, this is your point of invalidation. You just go back and then you just set it where you can see, and that was it. So that person that asked, this is how I got the trade. I told you guys when we get to this class I'm going to explain. You can see I got the buy, I still got the sell. I took 4 trades. Normally I take 0 to 3 trades weekly, and I managed to get 4 this week. That's to say we don't trade directly on the open and close, we just get the buyers. How can you trade directly on that? You know the crazy part of this thing is this, right? You don't know where the rejection will come out from. Do you understand? You don't know where the rejection will come out from. So okay, let's use this as example now. Let's say you want to enter. This one is not like key level that will say use the most recent open, close, or most recent blah blah blah. No, if you had used this, let's say you enter from here, you would have been taken out from this trade, but price still was valid. So you don't know where the rejection will come out from. You only use it for your buyers. That's why that VIX 25, that sell, I did not even take that QM arrow. And another thing is that I've been observing that pair, it needs like kind of wide stop loss this period. I don't know, it's always like trying to weak out and then move. Let's check VIX 25 together. I don't know what's the time. 10, their daily time frame, their daily candle must have closed. I will attend to your questions. I am coming. Let's see what we have here. Okay, yeah, this is like a good example now. Very good. Now you can see that how did this daily closed? It closed in this week. This is what your resistance. So if you go to the 4 hours, our first breakout is this one right here. It's kind of far. So any sell POI you take before this breakout, just know that it is low probability. That's where those some random stop loss comes from. Do you understand? So, and perhaps, of course, secondly, there is no rejection to even start with on the 4 hours. So how do you enter? So people might just go to the 1 hour and they just enter. That's why you can price will just reverse on them, and it will be like SBR is not working, RBS is not working, this is not working. So you can see. So of course we have gotten a rejection in the 4 hour in the daily, but we are yet to get our, and that buy that happened today, that most people benefited from, was because of this open close rejection here. You can see, even if it's just small buy or small sell, something must happen. This thing here was the reason why price bought up to this level and then triggered this one now. Looking at the pair, it's actually bearish. This thing that just happened here is just a normal reversal for continuation. So on the 1 hour, on the 4 hours, we are yet to break out. So yeah. After it was invalidated with the body, the sell you took, was it like an inverse? Because I am not getting. Yes, it was an inverse. Now I told you open close can be used as an inverse. For example, if you have an open close buy like this, that price invalidates with the body, and then price comes back and wicks it. It's now called an inverse now. It's now an inverse. That's still a rejection. Doesn't matter. It's still a rejection. That's the example I was giving since now. If that be the case, do we need to mark the disruption of the order flow to get invalidated first? How? I don't understand that question. I think I not said anything about disruption. The only thing I said about disruption is when I tried to align it with our daily, that it was still giving us the same thing. I already talk about how I got the buy now, how I got the buy on NAS 100. That's what I just explained. So this open close simply means two candles in the same direction with a little space between them. Yes, I am recording. Yes, for those that yeah, this person say like this resistant daily rejection, then it's sold. Yes. Oh my god. Say, how do we pair this with the market structure? All these things I've been explaining is how we do it now. See, don't be hard on yourself, okay? Don't try to rush it. Don't try to. It's a process. What do I mean by breakout? Let's just say break of structure now, the first key level in that direction. Thank you for this class. In my studies I also noticed the type of key level, but I don't know the name up till now. Yeah, that's true. That's good. The VIX 75 VIX 25 buy that happened today. Can you show the 4 hours rejection? Let me try. So we had this guy right here, daily reject daily, then 4 hours breakout. The breakout did not even occur safe. This was the breakout. Actually, me, I was looking forward for this breakout, but it wasn't working. There was no breakout here. There was no breakout. You know, when there is no breakout. And yes, another thing, the rejection that I saw, that it made me like, I felt like, okay, fine, maybe that's where the buy is going to, was, I think there was an open close. No, it was a resistance, sorry, a support here. You can see this was the support that also rejected on 4 hours. But at the same time, I've told you guys, any time price did not break 4 hours, like the next corresponding time frame. Now, this thing I taught you, don't go and try to do 4 hours reject, 4 hours, then 1 hour breakout without going to daily. You eat losses and you go one craze. Don't even try it. It's just better you go from daily, because there are even people that enter from daily. So it's just better you go from daily reject, daily 4 hour breakout. Then you inside that 4 hour breakout, you look for 4 hours reject, 4 hours, then 1 hour breakout, your entry, like that. And also the breakout can also be your entry. Your entry can come in this form, QM arrow. Your entry can also come in this form, breakout. Is your choice. That's what I have to say. Let's see. I love you so much. I love you more. Does the breakout have to be body break, or it can be a weak break? If it's not a body break, then it's not a breakout. If it's not a body, I've told you guys, a breakout structure is a body. How do we now combine with the 1 hour key level we normally trade? Well, I just explained now. Explain these two scenarios, I mean the red and blue. I just explained something similar now. The red and blue. Wait, where is your red? Red is this. It's no longer going to be. I told you guys. See, let me repeat it again. Now, you can see that we had this open close here, but price went beyond it and tap on this guy. So it's no longer this guy again. It's now this one. This guy is out of the picture. Price went beyond it and he rejected at this resistance. Let's take 2 more questions. I'm feeling a bit tired. I had like a very long day. Yes, breakout could be seen as breakout structure, but you know that some breakouts price can have like 2 key levels. For example, can have one here, and then inside it can still have like something like this, like this. Okay, so the breakout is this one, your breakout structure is this one. This is what I am trying to say. For example, this is a downtrend. This is your breakout, and this is your breakout structure. Let me take from the other class. This was I've explained to so far. I should explain the rest. 10:57. I told you guys we have all the time now. We have like 4 more classes or thereabouts. So don't rush. I just want to take questions that could help you when you are studying as well. How do you mark your structure since you are using rejection from the higher time frame to build bias, or is it just the kind of rejection plus breakout to be using? No, if you get this, just as where is that trade safe? Where is that NAS 100? See, when we got this rejection stuff, when I went to the 1 hour time frame, what did you realize? I told you when I went to the 1 hour time frame, I realized that this right here is my inducement, and this right here is my disruption that has been taken out, which also validates the sell I took from here. So we are still on the same page. No, you not learn new thing and forget old one now. It will be better you use the last AV shape level before the rejection, as more easier meaning to break out. You trade SL now because it's exactly at the time you mentioned. Don't know what it means at all. This one. See, we are here to make profit. Stop. Ah, my God, I don't want to talk. You can call it any name you want to. CROK, SLK, ABCD, anything that will make you understand. After all, MT Forest don't call this second break consumption disruption. Me, I called it by myself so I can understand. And everybody in the TLS, everybody that have learned from me directly, indirectly, are calling disruption. That thing doesn't exist anywhere except here. So any name you want to call it, as long as it aids your understanding and you're making money with it. Forget title. Those ones are just formalities, shenanigans, so people can understand. It's not a big deal. Any name you want to call it, just call it. I just explained how to. I think this person is saying, so we are not using inducement and disruption like this. How we are now? What brought me to this place? I just came to show you it still aligns. Now, after we had that rejection on that daily, right? How many candles? You need 24 candles, right? 1 hour. How many hours make one day? 24 hours. If I am right, of course. So 24 candles in 1 hour. Your disruption and inducement may likely be taken out, or just your inducement, and then we will sell little how are we going to forget? It's not even possible to forget about inducement and disruption. There's no how you learn market structure without inducement and disruption. And there will not be any rejection and breakout if you don't even know this inducement and disruption. Must there be a rejection on 4 hours? It's not compulsory. The reason why I am saying there can be a rejection in the 4 hours is because we have to try our best to refine this entry to the lower time frame, because you can enter with that 4 hours breakout after your daily rejection, but the SL size is the problem. Can we decide to use only open close key level for rejection? Then you will miss so many trade, because you will see resistance and support even so much more. You will still see inverse, you see QM arrow. So in effect, we can use the daily open close as a POI where price does not sweep inducement. Yes, sometimes even for continuation to get your QMC in a trending market. Using the VIX25 sell rejection that you just marked, please help clarify the breakout, given that there's a buy and sell rejection in VIX25 daily. There's no buy and sell rejection now. Which is the most recent candle here? Is this now? This is Sunday candle. This guy is not in place anymore. This guy is in place now. This is where the rejection is. So we are now focusing on this sell and not this buy rejection anymore. This guy is out of the book. This sell is what will give this rejection here is what will give us our direction for today, that is Monday. Today is Monday now. Okay, today is still Sunday, but in the market this is more like Monday. Monday has already started in the chart. You can see this is Monday. The date is showing 8, no longer 7. So you can see Monday has started, Sunday has passed. Sunday rejection, we wait for 4 hours breakout. If you want to target 1 to 3, is your choice, right? It is your choice. And congratulations to the person that just bought iPhone 17 Pro Max in TLS 1.0. Congratulations to you. We have to stop here. Thank you so much. Okay, let me take this last person. After rejection on the daily, do wait for the daily to close before going to the 4 hours. Yes, now. Yes, please. Yes, anything you have to do, the 4 hour, the 1 hour, one day has to close first. Yes, the reason why I answered all this question is so that you go back and use all these questions to write in your notes as part of your study as we await the next weekend section. Thank you so much, and the moderator will post the video tomorrow because I'm kind of tired to compress it. I'm the one that usually compresses it for him, so I have to compress it and then send to him, or I post it by myself. So thank you so much, and I really appreciate you taking your time to come to today's class. And I am not claiming ownership to whatever we have studied. Like I said, please don't go and quote me somewhere with something. I'm not claiming ownership. I don't even know who invented whatever. I said when we're studying, when I was studying, right, personally, I came across some things that of course I need to look into, and there is no crime in proving nobody is above learning. So see you guys in the next section, and God bless you and be with you for the new week. Practice, ask me questions, tag me directly. Don't say anybody, please, what is this? I will not reply. Tag me, let me see my name there. So when I come to the group, I just tap on the tagged messages, and then all right, good night, thank you. I'm very tired and hungry. Bye.